So I'm wearing this crop polo shirt, not by accident. This was intentional because these are one of my fears. I have shorter neck, and when you cover it up, it just makes my face look more rounder. And I think those are my fear. Looking fat. Hello everyone! Okay, so I know I am more dolled up than usual. Thank you for noticing. I had photo shoots earlier, so today I'm gonna talk about something not superly comfortable with. It's about body image issue. I usually talk about being confident and body positive and living this amazing life as a body positive person. But behind it all, there's a reason why this started. And I'm gonna share with you today about why. If you're going through some issues your own, I thought I would be a good person to share this and encourage you to love yourself even a little bit more than you already do. I know I'm an influencer, I'm a content creator, or whatever title you wanna put up here and wherever. But the main reason why this all started was because I was trying to conquer my fear. And one of my biggest fear is looking fat. I know, surprising, right? I wear crop tops, all right? I always talk about my abs, and then I talk about fitness, and I like preach these things to people around me. Now, little background. When little Jenny was growing up, me, I was not fat. I was average size, even considered small size. But the problem is, guys, I was constantly comparing to my friends. My friends were size 00, or 0. So I was size 2, okay? Technically, 2 is tiny. But compared to 00 or zeros, I'm like twice their size. I always had big shoulders, and I had so many things that I hated about my body. I didn't like how rounded I was and how like my eyes look so Asian. Honestly, like amongst Asians, they tell me I have big eyes. But amongst Caucasians, I have smaller eyes. No one ever told me that I wasn't pretty. It was always in my head. Actually, in fact, I think I've been told I'm pretty a lot more than I told myself that. So that's a little background story. I wanted to talk about body dysmorphia. By definition, body dysmorphia, a mental illness involving obsessive focus on perceived flaw in appearance. The flaw may be minor or imagined, but the person may spend hours a day trying to fix it. The person may try many cosmetic procedures or exercise to excess. If you talk to any of my friends growing up, they could literally tell you. My best friend from high school, Sylvia, she could probably definitely tell you this, but I used to stress a lot on body image. Like up to a point where I also had a lot of acne, so I felt like a very ugly duckling. Those that know what I'm talking about, my AOL AIM account username was ugly duckling. That's how much I believed, but I was hopeful, right? Ugly duckling eventually becomes a swan. So I was like, I will be a swan one day. So I had this motivation. But I always felt like an ugly duckling. I had a lot of pimples and I felt chunky. To be honest, I wasn't eating healthy. I still don't like greens, but now I force it on myself. I actually eat it. Then I didn't even force it, didn't care, just complained about how I looked. So I wasn't really taking care of myself physically or mentally. And I think that's where really got bad. And with that, I think it continued as I grew. It's not like it wasn't confirmed state or it was serious, but there was a time, I'm in my 30s, I'm 33 to be exact, and there was a time in my life where I felt very big and I wanted to pursue dancing, like choreography. So when I was in high school senior year, last senior year, I wanted to look thin. So I only ate organic vegetables, like no carbs, no meat. And if you know me, I love meat. So that was weird. I would never touch anything fatty for that whole summer. It's only 3 months, so or 2-3 months. So it wasn't a long time, but honestly, because I felt like as a dancer, especially a hip hop based dancers, they always show off their midriffs and everyone always had abs. So in my head, I kept on thinking, okay, if I have extra fat here, there is a problem. I can't show fat here, I can't show fat. Like that was constantly in my head. No one drilled it to me at all. It was just me in my head. Crazy, I know. And then it hit like hard and I never felt pretty. I was like going crazy and I did it. And I looked good, okay? And I was like, yes, this is my life and I'm gonna look fabulous. I'm gonna be thin and beautiful and like this till freshman 20 hit. I ended up not going to a dance school. I went to a college where I didn't even want to go. And I was majoring in forensic psychology with a bunch of nerds. And during my stressful time, what do you think I did? Yeah, I ate. So I gained, and I actually had a lot of guy friends. So a lot of guy friends, they eat more than I do, and I got chunky. After college, I got a job. I worked for a Korean company, and I'm Korean, by the way, if you didn't know. And one thing that's like so devastatingly terrible is that in Korean culture, it is normal to judge you based on how you look, even if they don't know you. As if they have this right to talk over you and about you. I grew up here. I grew up in like Toronto and New York. So to me, I couldn't understand whenever I gained weight, when I lost weight. It was like, why was this a lunch conversation amongst the bankers? I work for a financial company which has nothing to do with health. And they drink cola. Okay, so I didn't understand all these guys that were like criticizing and stuff were the ones that didn't look that great. Didn't have an amazing status, or like honestly, like they had nothing going for themselves, and I felt like they were picking something out of me to attack me because there was some sort of insecurity in their life. But at the time, I didn't comprehend that, and what I was just thinking was, why am I so fat? Years went by and I still feel big. It's kind of weird because at that point in my life, I was pretty happy with the way I looked because validation was there. The validation I'm talking about was guys I dated, hung out with, went on dates with, and even guys that were approaching me always told me I was beautiful.
She's huge, but she's so beautiful.
Okay, so if I was that fat and ugly and all these things, I wouldn't get the attention. So I actually knew that I wasn't terrifyingly ugly, or whatever you call that. It was always in Korean society, and I just like didn't understand. And every time I like gained 5 pounds, they'll have a heart attack, as if I lost like $1 million or something for them. And one day, I think I was going through a very stressful time, and I just was not working out. I was not taking care of my body. I was drinking almost every night. Out of nowhere, my ex-boss yelled across the table, "Oh my gosh, look at Jenny's gigantic stomach." So like he body shamed me on top of everything else. And I know he did it as a joke, but that's not funny. Also, you should have known, he should have known. I feel like more than what I believed. I know that body dysmorphia is mainly of what you imagine or what you see little tiny flaws and like you just make it into a very extravagant, or sorry, that's not the right word, exaggerate. Little tiny flaw into exaggerating of how terribly big you are. And I felt like he knew that I was self-conscious and he just pulled it out of me. I had no reason why. I don't know why. I still don't know why, but that made it worse. My main reason was like, I think first it started with like, I was confident, where I still felt decently confident after becoming an adult, liking my body more and working out. But then whenever I had a downhill moment in my life, when someone criticized, and I'm a perfectionist, right? So when someone criticizes, I get very defensive and I go the other way, I actually do things to prove them wrong. And that was one of the side effects I had. And I think to a certain extent, I was believing what they were saying. So constantly, I picked on myself. And that became like a habit for a long time in my adult life. And then 27 hit. You know what? My 27th year was a golden year not because I was the thinnest, not because I was the most successful, but because that was a year I stopped giving a shit. Meaning, I stopped listening to other people. I stopped caring about what people had to say. about my body or whatever I did. I stopped caring whether I had a degree from Ivy League or not. I think that was like a non-stop thing. And it was just like hurting me too much. I was like, you know what? I don't want to live like this for the rest of my life. I don't need this. And I just literally took myself out of the show. And I felt never happier than before. Like, I'm 33 now. It's been 5 years, feeling extravagantly happy. I would have never imagined that the most insecure video I've ever made, which was P.Volve, showing my midriff throughout workout, not just a photo, and seeing that more successful than any of my videos, shows that me being real is enough. Myself is enough. That's exactly where I am now. I'm 33. I'm not ashamed to say my age. I know I look young. I am not ashamed to share that I used to have terrible acne. I used to be chunkier. I still go through phases. I'm a size 6 and sometimes 8 when I'm heftier, but I don't look great all the time. I don't work out every day. I have seasons where I kind of let go. Okay, I'm human. I'm a creator, but I'm also human. There are times where I want to eat pizza and binge on every cheesy food I could grab, fried food, McDonald's, Chick-fil-A, you name it. The wisdom that I have now is that whether I am 2 pounds heavier or 2 pounds lighter, I don't think I share enough, but honestly, everyone to a certain extent is self-conscious about their body. Even thin ones, even the ones that you think that they have the most perfect body. The reason why I think everyone works on it is because to a certain level, it's not just about achievement, but it's also self-consciousness. Even now, I am a little self-conscious, let's be real. But then my self-consciousness now is actually healthy. It keeps me healthier, it keeps my body in check. It's not up to a point where I want to really like cry and never get up from bed kind of level. But that also comes with a lot of constant trying. Don't have to look, first of all, in any way, okay? Now, let me make this clear. I'm not a fan about promoting obesity. I do think that everyone should be healthy. And I think whether you're size 20 or 2, doesn't matter. You're beautiful. That's just given fact to me. But trying to be healthier is important. It doesn't matter what size you are. And that could mean someone is like size, like, I don't know, 20, and you're eating healthy. You know, you're feeling fine. There's no organ like problems or anything, health related issues. You don't have bone aches, nothing like that. Cool. All for it. I think that's beautiful. I don't think one size is beautiful than the other. And if that plays positively, then it looks great. If it doesn't work out well, then it could be really bad. And I just want to be there for you and tell you right now, wherever you're at on the scale, doesn't matter. I purchased a scale recently because I wanted to kind of know what weight I am and be consistent, but I don't weigh myself every day. In fact, water has density, so if you drink water and you weigh yourself, you will be heavier. Being healthy is very important, being consistent is important, and trying is very important. And the reason why I even wanted to start this whole channel was because I want to encourage those ones that are down, and maybe I could just, because I live in New York and I travel, but I only travel for like fun, and I would never really get to see you otherwise or meet you. And I want to be here and be like, hey, guess what? You don't have to be certain size. You don't have to look certain way to be considered beautiful. And I think our beauty standards changing, and I'm so happy. Even in Korea, standards are changing. Not just Korea, but like in Asia, not everyone's the same size anymore. I think the inclusivity of all different races is real important. And I'm so glad everything in the beauty world is changing. But as it is changing and trying to change everyone's like minds, I think it's also important for us to do our own parts of changing our own minds. Obviously, I'm here for you. Comment below if you have any struggles that you go through. I will message you back. Promise. And also DM me. Follow me on Instagram. Like, I always post a lot of stuff. You know, let's be friends. Hope this little talk made your day a little brighter for you to get motivated on working on yourself. Well, I love you so much, and you're beautiful no matter what other people say, or no matter what you think your inner voice telling you. I hope you know that. And that's all today. It would be really, really amazing if you just click likes for me and subscribe to my channel. Hope you have a lovely day or night whenever you're watching. I'll catch up with you next time. See ya. Bye. Mwah.